everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. Lots to talk about. I saw 3 movies and started a new game, so let's just jump right in. First movie I saw was Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, which they are apparently now referring to as Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, which, to be fair, is a more accurate title for this movie. It is very much a Harley Quinn movie. The Birds of Prey are in it as supporting cast, and they don't even work together as a super team until like the last 15 minutes of the movie. So it's very much a Harley Quinn movie, though that's not really a problem because, I mean, at least for me, because I think Margot Robbie is quite entertaining as Harley Quinn. It's just that the other Birds of Prey were not well defined, because it's all about Harley Quinn. But once they get together at the end, that big climactic group fight scene is amazing. It's really well done, well choreographed, well shot, super awesome. My only complaint with Birds of Prey would be the R rating. It just felt gratuitous and unnecessary. Like, did you really need those CGI blood splatters? And did you need to drop all those F-bombs? Like, I feel like it could have been redone for a PG-13 rating, and while I don't know if that would have helped bring in more of an audience, it would have at least opened it up for those, you know, preteen girls who might appreciate the message of this movie with these strong female characters taking back their agency and, you know, but what do I know? I'm not a film executive, and I don't work at Warner Brothers deciding that all of our comic book movies are going to be R-rated, violent, curse-filled romps. Because that's what people want from their superhero movies. So I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman 84, where it'll go back to the fun, lighthearted movies that kids can go see too. Next, I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, how was I not going to go see that? Unfortunately, it was just sort of fine. Like, I think the kids in the audience enjoyed it a little more than I did. I heard them laughing at jokes that I wasn't laughing at, because I feel like Sonic wasn't as funny as he thinks he is, or as the movie thinks he is. Like, Jim Carrey was the only one giving, like, life to his performance. You know, I mean, James Marsden was just playing the straight man to Sonic, which would have probably worked better if Sonic was actually funnier. The movie wasn't, like, legit good, like, say, you know, Detective Pikachu or Silent Hill, and it wasn't, like, so ridiculously insane that it comes around to being awesome again, like, say, the Super Mario movie or Street Fighter. This was just sort of, hello, there we are, it's a movie, it has Sonic in it, the end. I will say that the ending, it picked up towards the end. Oddly, once Tika Sumpter's throwaway wife character is reintroduced, because somehow she brought another element to the banter, and somehow it started becoming funny, and there were some actual decent jokes at the end. I chuckled a couple of times, and I don't know if that's her performance, or them writing for this character, or the element that she brings to the group dynamic. I don't know. But it did get better at the end, and then it became actually entertaining, but it was kind of a slog getting to that point. I just didn't find Sonic as entertaining as he thinks he is. And it did really well, apparently, so I'm assuming they're going to make the sequel stay through the credits, because there is a little credits tease that even I was like, ooh, even though I knew that was what was coming. And the kids just went, yay, you know, and some other adults went, yay! So I guess maybe we'll get to see that. So if it can pick up where it left off and maintain that, you know, then the sequel might actually be better. And last but not least, we went to see Fantasy Island, which weirdly I had read not good. I'd heard not good things about, so I guess maybe my expectations were lower. But I actually kind of enjoyed it. It's not a horror movie necessarily. The trailers make it out to be a horror movie. It's not. It's basically just like an episode of the show where you have guests come to Fantasy Island and they all have different stories. So you have one that's like kind of a straightforward drama, one that's a comedy, and one that's horror, kind of. And then, no, it is horror. It doesn't start as horror, but very quickly turns into a horror movie. And one that's kind of action. And of course, being Fantasy Island, everything gets turned upside down and you don't get what you want, be careful what you wish for, that sort of thing. And then they all kind of converge and it becomes, you know, like a thriller. Still never quite horror, exactly, because it's never scary. I think they're trying to go for scary in places, but it never quite worked. But I found it enjoyable. It was a nice adaptation of the show. It was kind of accurate. It worked. And I brought my husband with me because it was my birthday month, so at AMC you get a large popcorn and soda for free, which turns out a large popcorn and a large soda cost $16. So I don't know who's buying that. Of course I felt sick at the end of the movie because we'd eaten the entire vat of popcorn because a large popcorn is big. Yeah. Check it out. If you're gonna go see anything, you're probably gonna go see Sonic, so just make sure you stay for the end credits. But Birds of Prey was enjoyable, and so was Fantasy Island. As for gaming, it was my birthday, so my husband got me some presents, one of which was The Witcher Wild Hunt on the Nintendo Switch, which I put on my Amazon wish list for Christmas and didn't get, so I got it here. And it was weird because it comes in this nice box, and that confused me, because it turns out that it comes with the game, but then it also comes with this little pack, which has like some stickers and a fold-out map and a little booklet with some background on the characters and stuff, which unfortunately did not come in very handy. I'd heard so much about this game, and I wanted to try it. And I thought, I know the Switch isn't going to be as good as the PS4 version, but if I play it portably, I might be able to play it more and actually finish it, because it's an epic, long game. So I said, okay, I'm going to, you know, accept that it's going to have some limitations on the Switch. And I'm enjoying it so far. I've only got a couple of issues, one of which is those limitations, because the graphics are dicey. They're totally doable. It's not like they're ugly and it's unplayable. It's totally fine. It's just that in order to get this entire game on a tiny little Switch cartridge, which is an impressive feat of engineering in and of itself, they had to make some compromises on the graphics. The character models are not as detailed. The textures are not as detailed. But the characters do have all of their animations, and they're very detailed characters. They're just not... like, they're well animated and stuff, but the details on them are muddy and smeary and not great. Like, I'm riding around on my horse, and it's not like when you're riding around on your horse in Red Dead Redemption 2, where I would literally just ride around on my horse and just take in the gorgeous scenery. Here, I was like riding through the trees, and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty with the light coming through the trees and everything, and I took a screenshot, and then that screenshot does not look as pretty as it does in motion. And weirdly, The Witcher 3 does not allow you to capture video, only screenshots. But everything is just kind of like smeary, blurry. It's actually a little bit better when you play portably, because condensed down onto the small screen, it's not as noticeable, and it's a little more manageable. But when I play it at home on the TV, and it's big, then it's, you know, you really see, ooh, you know, that's not great. But overall, I'm enjoying the game and the gameplay. It's fine. My other complaint it's very much a sequel, and you are dropped into the middle of a story, and I don't know who any of these characters are, and they all have previous relationships, and there's politics that I don't understand, there's an invading army, and I don't know who's good and who's bad, and which side to take. Now granted, you're a Witcher, you're supposed to just not take sides and just do whatever you can do for people as long as they pay you, you work for them, whatever. But that little, like, background booklet in here, I even looked in there, and there's not any help in there. I had to go online to read up on, like, the background of the area, because I would do these missions, these side quests, and I would try to do what was right. And I'm like, oh, this guy's house was torched. I'll go find the arsonist. I bring the arsonist back. I say, here's the guy that burned your house. And he's like, thank you. Soldiers, guards. And they come over and they're like, you burned down his house? We're going to go hang you. And I'm like, ooh, that's a little extreme. Also, they're the invading army. I shouldn't be on their side, right? I don't know. And then there was another one where this guy's like, hey, can you help me retrieve this box from my cart that got away from me and there's monsters around it. And when you go, it turns out it's been shot up with arrows, and it was actually him who shot up this thing, and you chase him down, and he's like, look, I'm a good soldier, and that was the invading evil guys, and this is medicine that my good soldiers need to help fight back against this invading army. And I'm like, oh, well then I guess I'll let you go, because that sounds good. So, like, I don't know what to do. And sometimes, like, I feel like I'm trying to do the right thing, but it might not be the right thing, and I don't know. And it's difficult because I don't know the background, because I don't know who Geralt is, and I don't know who all these other characters are really, because I'm coming in on the third game in a series and not having played the first two. And it's like jumping in and playing, like, you know, Mass Effect 3. Like, this doesn't work. Whereas, like, Red Dead Redemption 2, to use an example that I've already mentioned, I played Red Dead Redemption 2 having, well, I did try to play Red Dead Redemption. I got maybe not even halfway through before I lost interest, but, like, I played Red Dead Redemption 2, and I could understand these characters, their relationships, because you're coming in new, and yes, there's references to previous stuff, but it was done really well, as if, you know, knowing that this was going to be somebody's first game. So, like, I even read on Wikipedia that they deliberately made the 3 look like claw marks and stuff so that it didn't look, so it was The Witcher Wild Hunt, so that it wasn't saying it's The Witcher 3. You know, that way people wouldn't necessarily think, oh, it's the third game, I'm not going to play it because I didn't play 1 and 2, I won't play 3. They wanted to kind of subtly, like, make it seem like it's not a sequel exactly and you don't need to, but you do. I feel lost, story-wise anyway, not having played 1 or 2. So that's another problem that I'm having with the game, because the game is, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of elements, there's, you know, your weapons and armor, and there's crafting, and there's the alchemy, and there's spells, and it's like, it's throwing a lot at you right away, and that's difficult because at the same time, I'm trying to figure out who everybody is, and what is going on, and what is this world, and do I help the bad guys, or whatever, you know. It's a lot. But I am enjoying it still, so I'm going to keep playing it. Unfortunately, it means that I'm now not playing Pokemon anymore, and I didn't finish that, obviously, yet. And now I'm like, am I going to ever go back and finish Pokemon? Or am I ever going to go back and finish Luigi's Mansion 3, because that's still sitting there. But I can't just get a new game and then not try it. I'm not going to, like, let it sit there sealed until I finish Pokemon. No, I can't do that. If you've watched any episodes of this, you know that I can't do that. I have no willpower. So, come back next episode where I will probably talk about some more movies and probably some more Witcher. And I'll let you know how I'm progressing. So, bye!